Hey guys, it's Mizeron here, and we're going to be showcasing my ultimate Railblade build from the montage I had posted yesterday. So they kind of like nerfed Railblade, in my opinion. Giving it a chance, and then taking away a type armor wasn't really the best change, in my opinion. I just don't think you need to take away a type armor, because right now I don't think enchants are that strong. But regardless, that doesn't really affect the performance of the build. No, actually, no, it kind of does, but I'm not going to worry about it. I still got some cool tech to show y'all, so let's get right into it. I'll have the build link below with all the talents and mantras and all the stats listed, so you can go over that yourself if you want. So anyway, let's get right into the pre-shrine stats. So for the pre-shrine stats, we went 50 Fortitude for To the Finish and Exoskeleton, and then we went 60 Charisma for Lasting Charisma, Chaotic Charm, Golden Tongue, and Manipulator. And then we went 50 Thunder pre-shrine for Surge Path, Closed Circuit, and Catalytic Strike, which all sort of tie into guard breaks and all that stuff. And then we went 25 Flame with the 50 Thunder for Scorched Peak. After that, we got our pre-shrine stats, and we got to get all that out the way. So then we went 40 Strength for all the posture talents like Unwavering Resolve, Duelist Stance, and Harsh Response. And then also with, it goes with, what is it, 40 Heavy for Destructive Recovery and all that stuff. Then after that, we go 25 Agility for Speed Demon, Spine Cutter, and then with Flame, you get the Warding Radiance talent and Flame Walker. And then we went 20 Willpower for those posture talents with Battle Tendency and Hold Habits Die Hard specifically. I couldn't get 25 for Disbelief, and Disbelief, if you don't know, it cuts the duration of Charm in half, and along with Vision Shapers as well. But I wasn't able to get it. If I could, I would have, but it's okay. And then we went 80 Heavy, so I'm able to equip my Railblade, and if anyone wants to run like a heavy mantra like Punishment, which I do suggest, it's a very good mantra, you can go and get that at level 5, which you kind of need to do with that mantra. And then lastly, we went 80 Flame for level 5 Flame mantras and all that stuff, so that way, when my fully modified Fire Palm comes out, you know, you're going to get blasted from halfway across the map. So anyway, let's move on to the tech. The three main pieces of tech that I abuse the ever-loving hell out of are Graycasting on block with Fireforge and Burning Servants, Mantra Feint onto block with an M1 with just any sort of Mantra Feint in M1, and then also Double Feint mix with Ash Slam and stuff like that. So I'm going to put some clips up and we'll get into the very specific things of each one. So starting off with Graycasting on block. When it comes to Graycasting on block, it's between a certain frame window of about 0.5 milliseconds to 0.55 milliseconds. So somewhere in between that range, after your opponent has whiffed a parry, you're able to hit their block. And as you can see in the clip, the guy, he goes to parry the actual M1 coming out, but I feint it into a mantra that guarantees a hit on his block, and it's just free as all get out. So once you get all sort of that figured out, you really have to understand the window is based off of their reaction speed and ping in the server. If you aren't really able to land it consistently and they're parrying it or blocking it, or rolling it, I'm sorry. If they're rolling it consistently, then that means you're doing one of two things wrong. If they're parrying it, that means that you're doing it too fast, and if they're rolling it, that means you're doing it too slow. So in order to make sure that you're not messing up and you're hitting that exact window where their block is always up and always active, you just need to gauge between the two based off the ping and all that stuff, and you'll be able to lock it down 100% of the time. So for this next piece of tech, it works very similar to how Graycast on block works, except for this time we're using mantras to guarantee M1s on block. So I call this True M1 on block, and it's super simple. All you gotta do is mantra feint and then M1 directly after. There's no sort of timing or delay that you need to do, because the timing between a mantra feint and then your ability to M1 immediately after, it almost hits that window perfectly without any need for timing or anything. So it's super easy, super free, universal in every sort of weapon and any mantra. It's just super free, abuse the hell out of it, it's super good. The next easy piece of tech is Double Feint Mix. And the way Double Feint Mix works, for those who don't know, is just you take any AoE mantra such as Ash Slam or Rising Frost, or even Master's Flourish as well. Those all have multi-hits, so you kind of have to, it has to be a multi-hit, but you can use it with other major AoE mantras like Rising Flame. You take those mantras, you mantra feint them, or any other mantra, and then you just Graycast on block like how you would for normal mix. The reason you do two feints is in order to bait out their parry, which then forces them to reaction roll to avoid the next mix. And typically, good players, what they'll do is they'll block as soon as they do that, and then you do another feint to bait out their next mix, and since they wasted their roll, you're going for their next roll, which will be lift on air, which their next roll will be based off of the M1 that's supposed to come out, and then because it's a multi-hit, the lingering hit, which is usually the second hit, will almost guarantee hit them because of that mess up in their mistakes, which can catch even some of the best players, even though they meant to block directly afterwards. And it just makes this mix super strong, universal, and which is why you still need to run Ashlam, and why people were running Flaming Scourge over Ashlam, but then they made that end lag change to Flaming Scourge, and now it's just not as strong, even though it did decent posture. But you just get punished way too much for it, but that's getting sidetracked. Anyway, so let's move on to the next pieces of tech for the build. One piece of tech that's very popular right now in the current meta is to use roll stacking with either a mantra or a crit, and in my case, I use Lightning Cloak's enhanced dashes along with Rising Flame's massive AoE hitbox in order to take advantage and get easy snipes off of players who are sort of unsuspecting. It's very beneficial on forms of double feint mix when I don't want to use Ashlam and I want to go into other setups like move stacking with Burning Servants and Rising Flame, stuff like that. Just super easy confirms that can lead to lots of possible big damage and just huge high combos and stuff like that. There's one more thing that's crucial to the build that I want to bring up before I start showcasing basic combos. The reason I went Surge Path is so I could enhance my damage on every single guard break that I get. Thanks to Surge Path's talents, Catalytic Strike and Closed Circuits to be specific, every time I guard break someone, even with only one Surge stack on them, I'm dealing additional damage. So I use Storm Enchant on my Railblade in order to get more stacks on my enemy, since I'm not using any other Thunder Monsters besides Arcwave. So now that we've covered that, we can get into actual combos. with that, that'll be the end of today's showcase. I hope everyone enjoyed and learned a thing or two when it comes to flame builds and block pressure and stuff like that. I've been making and remaking so many versions of this build, it's insane. So it's nice to be able to finally get a video out about it. This is only my second time editing a video, so I hope y'all enjoyed it enough to like and sub and stuff. And please, if y'all know anything, if y'all got any tips, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think. Any sort of tips would be greatly appreciated. And make sure you check out my guild's Discord, discord.gg/Akai. And I'll have all the links and the stuff below in the description. And I hope to catch y'all in my next video with me and Mr. Punchy talking about medium weapons and all that stuff. So I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.